Welcome to Behind the Veil. Now, here is your transformational coach, Tammy Hawks.
Yes, there she is.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good.
How are you feeling about today?
So this week has actually been bizarre. I kind of signed up for a few things on impulse that I planned to cancel.
Uh-huh.
And this was going to be one of them.
Uh-huh.
But so this week instead, I ended up going to a HIIT gym, and now I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah, you are. So, how are you feeling?
A little bit apprehensive about being very open and vulnerable about some things, but I find comfort because it's anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I can be really authentic and probably talk about things that most people don't talk about.
Mm-hmm. That's what I love about it. That's why we wanted this format to be structured this way so that you have complete freedom to lay it all on the table. My goal is for you to have the most massive transformation that I can bring to you in this, 45 minutes, hour time, so that you can move on and heal. And what I've noticed with my clients is when I help one person transform, it has a ripple effect. It will not only impact your family and who's in your circle, but it ripples out far beyond that. Do you have kids?
I do. I have two small kids, 3, and then my oldest will be 6 next month.
Right. So it's like that. When I healed myself, I healed my kids, I healed my parents. You heal actually 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. So it's far more than just you, right? That's what I want to get you to see, is that when you choose to heal, it goes far beyond you. So good job. You didn't cancel. I'm so glad, because this is the best gift you can give yourself.
Absolutely. I've been in a weird kind of depression thing for a couple weeks now, probably longer than that, but it's been really bad. And then this week is my week to turn things around. So I don't know how far back you want me to go, kind of like summarize.
Well, I want you to let's start by when we get to the point where I'm taking you through a process, right? I want you to understand that I do a lot with the subconscious mind, right? And so there's going to be a lot of stuff that might sound weird, or you might not understand, or you might be like, what the hell is this? Right? And when that comes up, I want you to kind of tag it, oh, this is just my mind. Okay.
Mhm.
And I want you to surrender into like the what if this changes everything. Okay.
Yeah, sounds great.
So
I overthink everything, so this is good.
yeah. Yeah.
Excited.
I feel into you. I feel into you. So just know that when those thoughts pop up, I want you to just kind of say, oh, that's just my mind. Okay. I want you to start by telling me a little bit about your current situation, right? And then from there, we'll take it where we need to take it back to.
Okay. I have been married for almost 9 years. I have 2 kids, 3 and about to be 6. My marriage is my second marriage. There was a lot of up and downs, and then the last 2 years have been really a struggle. It's probably been 4 years because we had a family kind of crisis thing happen, but the last 2 years, I remember the exact day where my brain I was like, there's nothing's going to change. And I started to give up on my marriage.
How long ago was that?
February of 2023.
Okay. Tell me what was happening then.
So every couple months, my husband and I, we have a conversation. Like, I'd have a conversation about wanting more or wanting certain changes. And I tried to approach it in every way that I could think of. I was empathetic. I was made a point not to be confrontational. We made lists, like I made a honey-do list, stuff like that. And it came to the point where it felt like he wasn't valuing those things because it wasn't important to him. And I get that. I'm overly empathetic, but trying to express how important it was to me. And that conversation that we had February last year, I broke down and I begged him. I begged him to go to counseling, which I had asked passively before that, and he said no. And at my breaking point, for me to be vulnerable and to see how important it was, and then for him to still say no, I stopped having hope. Like before that, I would always look for ways, like maybe I can do it this way, maybe I can approach it this way, or say it this way, or do something. Like there's got to be something, because when you love somebody and you
Okay,
see them
so let
hurting
me
for
ask you this. I'm going to interrupt real quick.
you're good.
What is the issues for you coming up? What is the problem for you?
So I feel very much that I do everything on my own. In the beginning of our marriage, he did not work for several years. I say several, 2 or 3 years. And that caused some issues. He got a job right before I got pregnant with our first child, but he goes to work and he comes home and he's too tired to do anything else. He's not an active parent. He doesn't clean up after himself. And I'm talking like very specific things that are him messes.
Okay. So now that I get the gist, what is the feeling parts of this? What are you not feeling from him that you want to feel? What is the emotional part for you?
I don't feel valued.
Mm-hmm.
He says he values me and he says the things, but because he can't relate to my needs, they aren't a priority to him.
Okay. I want you to feel into that for a second. Okay. I want you to close your eyes, feel into that. I don't feel valued. I don't feel like he cares about me. Right. I want you to feel that fully. Okay. There's a place in your body where this emotion is stored. First impression, I want you to take your right hand and place it on this area. First impression, you know
It's
it.
like from here to here.
Put your hand on it. What color is it? First impression.
Orange.
Yeah. Okay. Orange. Okay. There is an image directly. You keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
You can put your hand down, but just keep your eyes closed. There is a image that is connected to this color. I want you to go ahead and pop that image up on your mind, reflect it out from you, and it's going to be the very first one. And you're going to probably second guess it. It is the first time you felt that emotion of I'm not valuable. Do you have the image?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Could you go ahead and describe it for me? Starting with how old you are.
I couldn't tell you how old I was.
Just guess. First impression.
5 maybe.
Yeah.
My dad drove a Snyder orange truck. He was a truck driver, and it's dark, just so you're aware. He used to take us kids for rides with him when he traveled, and he would see other women. He cheated on my mom, and he would have us kids, come up with lies or just don't talk about our mom. And I told my mom about his girlfriend. And after that, I was not allowed to go with him anymore because his words were somewhere along the lines of because I would upset my mom.
Mm-hmm. And in that 5-year-old little girl made the connection. She made the belief. She created the belief that I'm not valuable, right? Keep your eyes closed. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and I want you to picture yourself with your eyes shut. This is in your mind's eye. I want you to picture yourself popping up out of your body. That's right. Going about 30 feet above your head. That's right. Now I want you to go ahead and go back in time. We're going to go all the way back in time, all the way back 5 years previous, 10 years previous. And we're going to go all the way back till 5-year-old little Rose. And I want you to go ahead and hover above you in this moment where you made that decision, where you decided that you weren't valuable. That's right. I want you to let the emotion come up. If you feel the emotion, I want you to let yourself feel it. That is unfelt emotion. It needs to be emoted. Okay. Yeah, there you go. And I want you to go ahead as you hover 30 feet above this point in time where you made that decision. And I want you to go ahead and be in the room. be in that space with your 5-year-old self. That's right. I want you to feel everything that that little girl is feeling. That's right. I want you to scoop her up in your arms. Yep. Let the emotions come. You're holding them back. I want you to let them come. Yeah. I want you to feel what this little girl is feeling. What's she experiencing right now? I want you to be with her in that very second that she decided that she wasn't valuable. And I want you to go ahead and be in the room with your 5-year-old self. That's right. I want you to feel everything that she's feeling right here in this moment. I don't want you to hold back any emotion. I want you to allow yourself to feel it fully. What is she feeling right now?
Guilty.
Guilty. What does she feel guilty about?
And I kind of held things together even when I was really young. When my parents fought, I would break up the fight. I had 3 brothers, and where they were chaotic and kids, I was a grown up, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I want you to feel her pain. I want you to scoop her up in your arms, and I want you to feel the emotions she feels. And I want you to go ahead and double the intensity of those emotions, triple the intensity of those emotions. I want you to take them on yourself. And I want you to do this until you feel them dissolve. So if tears are coming up, I want you to let them come up. This little girl needs to be healed. And in the moment she decided that she wasn't valuable, you're going to dissolve that emotional sting from that decision she made so that you can see another point of view, which you cannot do until you feel her emotions fully. You're going to take it on you because you and her are one. There's no separation. What she feels, you feel. So I want you to scoop her up in your arms and I want you to hold her. I want you to tell her that everything is going to be okay. I want you to tell her that she is very valuable, that she was born valuable because she is divine. She is perfection, that all of her gifts are necessary for this world right here, right now. That belief that she created is not true. It's just simply not true. I want you to tell her the truth about herself, who she truly is. I want you to tell her all the wonderful things that are in store for her, all the lives that she's going to impact by giving her gifts to this world, that she's necessary, that she's needed, and that she's deeply valued. And I want you to give her the vantage point of all the people's lives that she will impact in the next years to come. That's right. I want all those images of every individual that she's impacted. I want you to show her all these people. And I want you to tell her that this is what she came here to do, that she came here to give her gifts and bring value to the world around her. That's right. I want all those images that you're seeing right now in your mind's eye, I want you to impart them to her, knowing that words are not necessary. That's right. I want you to let these emotions come up. That's right. Knowing that those trapped negative emotions in your body cannot be emoted from you until you feel them. So this is your opportunity to let them out. There you go. Don't hold it back. That's right. There you go. Like threading a needle, I want you to see yourself going into the pain of this little girl. There you go. Let it come out. So good.
I
Releasing
don't
those.
like it.
Yeah, it's so good. You've been holding on to this pain a really long time, and it's time to let it go. It's time to let it go. I want you to see yourself going fully into the pain. I want you to see that orange color as a bubble. And I want you to see yourself going straight to the center of that orange bubble, feeling it fully, taking it on. And as you go through it, what you'll notice is it will just disintegrate as you bring the light of truth into it. That orange will completely disintegrate. There you go. Let it come. Let it come. We're transmuting something very big. This little sweet baby girl has been holding on to a lot of pain that she inherited from her mother and inherited from her father. Are you noticing that the orange has changed colors or lightened at all? First impression.
It changed colors.
What color is it now?
Green.
It's green. Wonderful.
Like a tealy green.
Beautiful. Keep your eyes shut. Okay, I want you to take this tealy green bubble and I want you to create a bubble around this 5-year-old you. That's right. Put her in this teal bubble. This is her healing bubble. That's right. And not only does it have a color, but it also has a title. What is the truth about who she is? If she's been believing this lie that she's not valuable, what would the truth be about her? You get to create the title of this teal bubble.
She is worthy and valuable without that.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And I want you to notice that this teal bubble,
There's clarity in that I didn't have before.
Mm-hmm. There you
I don't
are.
know what it's doing. I don't know how long I had my eyes closed talking to myself.
It doesn't matter because listen, this is your process. You have to understand you are emoting a lot of old stuck energy within your body. So either way, you've just shifted yourself. You've transformed yourself. Tell me what you're feeling now.
Feel a sense of relief. I think I got stuck in feeling trapped because it's not just not feeling valued, it's feeling like I can't do things for other people because that's where I found my value or what made me feel valued. Like I was only valuable as much as I can do for other people. And I do a lot for everybody.
So here's how it works with our beliefs, though, Rose. Our beliefs create our reality. Okay. So it goes like this. Our identity creates our beliefs create our thoughts create our emotions, and our emotions create the circumstances of our life, right? It goes in that order. So if you have results in your life, we can stem all the way back to your belief system. Did you see how I made that connection? I said, what are you dealing with right now in your marriage? Your marriage is the closest mirror you have with your relationship to yourself. So what I did was I took this belief system, this pattern, I said, tell me where it starts. And guess what we found? We found where that belief originated from. What I did was I took you back to that 5-year-old version to choose again a new belief, a new way of seeing it. Did you notice that?
Yes.
So when we shift that, we actually change history. We change our history, we change our beliefs. Because now you're going to start to notice, because this is what we call life commands, like the I'm not valuable unless I'm XYZing for other people. That's a very common command. And a life command is the limiting beliefs that are so deeply stamped onto your subconscious mind that they're literally creating your reality. And what the process I took you through is the process to neutralize the emotion that you attach to that belief. And when you neutralize the emotion, when you take the emotion out of it, then it just gets to be an event where you see it with no emotional tie. And you get to look at it and say, isn't that fascinating how I created that belief from that circumstance? That was your dad's shit. That was your dad's shit that you took on as a 5-year-old little girl. You took on the belief that you weren't valued because of your dad's shit.
Yeah.
Which is what we all do. But the thing is once we neutralize those events, then all of a sudden you can see this circumstance with your husband shifting, because you're going to value you, because you're going to see yourself as the valuable, perfect, amazing, gifted being that you are, who came here for a purpose, who is completely divine, completely perfect as is. And you're going to stop aligning to that old belief system. Does that make sense?
It does. It was a lot in a short amount of time.
Right. There's a reason. So, when I work with my clients, I work a minimum of 12 weeks, because this is step one.
Yeah.
When you're done, you're going to feel so good and you're going to say, I want this all the time. And that's when you'll decide, yeah, I'm going to do something to shift this. But I do it for a minimum of 12 weeks because it takes time for you to integrate the new identity. We're shifting your identity piece by piece. So we took one step, but just imagine if you did that for 12 weeks or 6 months is my ideal. That's when I find a person goes from, you will physically look different because you've transformed so much. All the emotions that we have, those negative emotions, get trapped in our physical vessel. You know that orange you saw?
Mm-hmm.
That orange, because the first two languages we learn when we're born into this world is color and emotion. And we tie them together. And that's how I can identify your blockings.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I wouldn't have gotten there by myself, even having that memory. But there was a lot of clarity. Like
Yeah.
I felt it was beyond not feeling valued.
Tell me about the clarity.
Because I feel unvalued, I'm really depressed. And while I'm feeling this depression, I can't do things for other people because I'm having trouble doing things with myself. As such is depression. And I guess that's kind of where I get my dopamine, is doing things for other people. So if I can't do anything, I got like the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so have been the worst that I have felt in a long time. Like usually as a mom, it doesn't matter how you feel. You have to function. You have to do all the things. And I haven't been doing the things. I've been locking myself in my room because I wanted dad to do things. And I don't have it in me to have all of that energy. And I felt awful about that.
Right. And all those are just beliefs.
Yes.
Right.
No, it makes sense.
Because all of the results that we have go back to our beliefs. Like, for instance, who says you don't have energy? Like, there's single moms out there that do it all. Who says that that you need to do X, Y, Z to be a good mom? Like, that's a belief, right? So all of it is beliefs, right? And it's just about dissecting the beliefs and finding what doesn't serve me and what does serve me, and implementing those into your hardwire. Because remember, the subconscious mind has been programmed in those first 5 years of life. That's the hardwiring. And that's why I don't mess around with what's going on now, except to be able to tie it back to those first 5 years, because those first 5 years, almost your entire identity was formed. So if I don't go back to the root of the belief, then I can't really shift you permanently. right?
My son is about to be 6. It's a terrifying thought.
But that's why I wanted to give you the hope, Rose, because when you heal yourself, you heal your children. Can I tell you about my experience?
Yes, absolutely.
When I did my trauma work, that's the reason why I do what I do now for marriages. Not only did my marriage transform, my husband and I were on the brink of divorce. We were miserable many years. And when I healed myself, I not only transformed my marriage, but the whole dynamics of my family. I have 3 kids. Everyone shifted because I changed, because I healed those deep inner wounds. So that's what I believe the greatest gift we can give our kids is to heal ourselves because it ripples out.
I thought I was much more healed until these last couple weeks. And that's what led me to sign up for your podcast on impulse, along with a gym membership and all the things that I've impulsively done.
Well, I would take that impulsive thing out and I would say it's intuition.
Yeah, that's fair. This week has been amazing. So like I said, it's been weeks of me basically, I do what has to be done, like the bare minimum, and I've been going to my room and just trying to work through the motions and, come out when I need to. But and then I got the reminder an hour before the free gym class, and I was like, well, I can't back out last minute. I guess I'm going to the gym. And then I decided to go again today. And then I got the reminder for this podcast, and I was like, well, I can't back out last minute. And so,
and let me tell you
powerful.
let me tell you where that stemmed from, because you said it earlier. You said, I made a decision that I wasn't going to be depressed anymore. And that's the reason why you're getting these hits from your subconscious mind, is because you made that decision. And a decision is so powerful. When you decide to heal, I'm telling you, all the right steps will come to your door. And I know, because I was in severe bouts of depression, and I looked up, because I was nursing at the time. I went through a really bad postpartum with my second, and I was like suicidal. It was very dark time for me. And I tried antidepressants, but because I nursed, I could only have so much. And they're like, well, you're going to have to stop nursing. I said, I'm not going to do that. So I looked up every natural remedy for depression, and it was sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
It was working out, moving your body. It was, obviously therapy, right? Something like this. And I started to do them all, and I got myself out of it. But trust yourself. You made the decision. You're going to heal. You're going to move out of this depression. Can I give you a little homework?
Yes, please.
Okay. One, keep doing the workout thing.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is that, okay, when we took you back through the process and had you create the new belief,
Mm-hmm.
you got to cement the new belief in. Remember, that old one has been cemented in for, how old are you?
I'm 34. I was actually about to ask, like, when you've been doing something for so long and approaching life that way, like, yes, I feel this way and I have this clarity right now, but
It's been hardwired since 5.
Yeah.
So we got to override the old system. So you have to create the new. So what I have my clients do is create the empowering statement. So if the old one was, I'm not valuable unless I'm doing things for other people, then what would the new one be?
My existence is valuable.
You're a divine being, right? You didn't just show up here like, no, you are eternal in nature. You are perfect. Like, the odds of you being born at the exact time, like, it's mind blowing, right? The human existence. You need to put a statement everywhere to remind yourself that you are so fucking valuable. And I have to put the fucking in there, because when you're trying to break the subconscious, you got to get some loud language. Like, no, I am fucking valuable, right? So I will, so dry erase marker, and you write that shit on every mirror in your house. You put it on index cards, and you put it by your nightstand. You put it in your car. You put it everywhere you're going to be, and you read it out loud to yourself every day, and you feel the emotion of it. Like, you are impressing it upon your subconscious mind with loud emotion, right? That's one massive thing that you can do. And then another thing is to recognize where you have made that the truth about who you are in every relationship.
Ouch.
And then, I know it's hard. Trust me, I went through this. It is devastating to the ego. but it's going to give you the freedom to create your life how you want it. And then you are going to look at all the ways you make that true on a daily basis and change those activities. Because is your kids' value based on anything that they do? No. The second you held that baby in your hand and you looked at that perfect baby, you didn't say, oh, you don't do anything. You don't cook. You don't clean. You're not valuable. Hell no. You look at that baby and you say, that's like God right there. Don't you? Like,
Yeah, this is
I
kind of
mean,
a funny tangent, but I think it's relevant. Kids are parrots, and my husband has a bad habit of telling them not to be assholes. But my daughter, she's 3, and the other day I frustrated her, didn't do things the right way, and she said, "Mom, stop being an asshole." And I think I need to stop being an asshole to myself.
yep. I agree.
It was a shocking moment, but it was good. It was good.
No, this
I
is a
corrected the
journey.
behavior,
This
by
is
the
a
way.
journey. I don't put any stock in that. Like you said, we just program them the way we were programmed. That's it. It's just a program. Like, why are we judging it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But know that at any point in time, you can change the programming powerfully. You have to adore yourself. You have to be your best friend. You have to stop talking shit about yourself in your own thought process, in your own mind. You have to stop judging yourself. You have to forgive yourself, and you have to accept you for all that you are.
You know what I noticed? When I make connections with people who seem like they have their shit together, and are in a good place emotionally, mentally, physically, like generally good place, because I know we all struggle, I am intimidated. I am quietly intimidated, and I don't
Why?
keep that relationship
Yeah. Why?
because I don't feel like I can add anything to it. Because my core belief that I'm working on changing. That
Yeah.
would be, I think, if I could surround myself with people on a level that I would like to be at, that would be powerful and transformative.
And it will be uncomfortable at first because when we're rising, it is like I did not learn to love myself overnight. And I would say that I, I believe that I will probably struggle with it until I transition. But I'm getting better and better and better every day at being mindful of how I'm speaking to myself, how I'm loving myself, what I'm allowing into my life, all these things. We're in a constant state of movement. It's just whether or not we're going down or up. So when you're in depression, you're at the very bottom of the emotional scale, which is powerlessness. When you understand that you create your own reality, what will happen is you will move up and up and up, and you will learn how to sustain. Like that's my goal with my clients, to get them, because they almost always start at powerlessness, and we move them up the emotional scale till they can sustain for most of the day joy, bliss, peace, happiness, gratitude. If I can get you up that emotional scale and you can be, what would your life look like if you could be in joy for the majority of the day? What would you
I
do?
can't even imagine that.
What would you
See,
do?
that doesn't even sound like a realistic possibility to me. That's that's like some far off. That's like something you read about in books or see on movies.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, I'm here to tell you that it's absolutely possible. It's available to anyone. And if you need the tools to the kingdom, then I'd love to take you on that journey. However, this is step one. You get to determine from here where you're going to go. But I will tell you what happens to my clients when they get to that place where they can sustain those higher frequencies. What happens is their life purpose is birthed.
I want to say, if anybody does listen to this, I am a normal person. Like I struggle every bill with, or every month with bills. But this one interaction was powerful enough that I would like to talk to you after to see what I can do to keep going.
Yeah. Good. Beautiful. Well, let's set up a meeting to see how we could make that work. Because I believe that you deserve that. How you will feel the rest of the day. And by the way, you will need lots of water today because what we did was detox you.
Oh, I did HIIT training this morning right before I came to you.
Girl, you are going to need so much. You're going to need so much water because you just moved so much energy out of your body.
I
You're
did
gonna,
physical and emotional today. I'm going to be out. I might
girl.
sleep tonight without overthinking for 4 hours before I fall asleep.
Okay, that's another thing you could do before you go to bed. Get out your journal and start journaling about all the things you're grateful for. Gratitude right before you fall asleep will put yourself in a higher level of frequency. And then when you wake up tomorrow, you will have a better chance at having a more elevated day.
I want to refer somebody to you,
Okay.
actually. I don't know if they're too cynical for it, but
Okay.
this is powerful.
Okay. Yeah. Send them my way. I'd love to do this with them. And sometimes the more cynical, the better.
Well, like even me going into this, like I know I came in like really, I was in a good mood. I was floaty from my workout. But I'm usually like the first, like, oh, so I saw you, like I looked you up in your podcast. And I was like, she's got a beautiful family. She's beautiful. She's fit. She obviously doesn't struggle. She's got it all figured out. And she's going to come on here and tell me that I just need to make a decision to not feel sad and just expect it just to magically happen. And then I did this and I cried and I felt strong, powerful things. And it was hard. It was uncomfortable, amazingly uncomfortable. And I wanted to shut it down, but I feel good.
Well, the thing
I'm
is
sorry
it
about
was
my snap
broken up.
judgments.
It was,
They're
no,
good
it's okay.
ones.
It's totally fine. It broke down twice. Twice you got booted out. So it's like, that's not the ideal situation, but you stayed in the process. I find that the people that have the biggest transformations are the ones that just surrender to the process. They just do what I say, even though it doesn't make any sense and it might sound weird and they've never heard of it, but just surrender it like you did the process. You fully surrendered and went into and that's the people that get the massive transformation because they're just like, okay, this is weird. I'm going in, I'm just letting it. And do you feel lighter in your body?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I don't have like an immediate resolution to the stuff I'm struggling with in my life right now, but I feel like I have a little bit more direction. I'm going to try to stop beating myself up. And this week, I've been doing stuff for me. I didn't know that
if
it
that
was
is the
heavy.
only thing that you do is make a vow to be kinder to yourself, I'd be like, yes. If that was the only thing like you would leave with, I would just be like, yes. Right, Rose? So
Yes.
it's something that you get to be aware of from here on out, that is creating everything for you. Your thoughts are really creating all of it. Your identity is creating all of it, beliefs, the whole spiel, but you get to control your thoughts. That's where you get to really figure out where you're going to put your energy. And if your energy is going to be on loving and valuing yourself, just imagine what sort of impact it'll make on your life. So I always tell people, like, your subconscious mind doesn't really want you to change. It feels like change would
comfortable.
be death to the ego. It's how the ego feels like, but just notice that when the fear rises up, I want you to see that little girl within you, because when you get triggered, it's her getting triggered, right? And I want you to do exactly what we did with her today. I want you to scoop her up in your arms. I want you to tell her that everything's going to be all right. I want you to feel her. I want you to be so connected to her that, like, when she's upset. And you are the first one to be like, it's called reparenting yourself. And it's you having this really deep and intimate relationship with that young little girl because she still needs you.
I can't even count how many therapists that I've seen, but this feels more transformative than any of that.
Yeah, that's because it's breaking science. This is like a leading edge stuff that we didn't know 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you're doing talk therapy, you're not doing shit. You got to do a process that works with this small version of you, because that is the one that is broken. It's not the adult version. you were intimately introduced to that, right? Because you felt the difference. You immediately, when you knew we were going back to her, you just were like, that's when all the emotion came up.
Yeah.
Because you knew how sad she is, right?
It was rough.
Yeah. But when you neutralize that, like when we go through weeks and weeks of healing, she's not going to be the same. You're not going to have the same triggers. I have seen my clients, they visually look different. They lose weight.
I was going to say, my life would be totally
diseases.
different.
Yeah, their diseases go away. I had one client who she's like, I've never been this pain-free. And I was like, yes, to heal the subconscious is to heal the body.
And I suffer with chronic pain. So that's
Of
a
course you do.
thing.
Of course you do. Because of the unhealed wounds. That's all that is. So yeah, I mean, it's a full transformation. It can feel intense when you're in it, like when we were in the process, but what you feel after, the freedom you feel after, you'll be like, nope, I'll do that 100 times over again. But I find that the first like couple of times is the hardest for people.
Okay.
So you went through the probably the hardest part, which is your first visit with her.
It's so straight. Like I've talked about that memory. I've like shared it with people, but I've never felt it that way.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's
because
just
we
like
went
a
back. That's because we
like
went back to it. So every memory you have is stored in the subconscious mind. So what we did was we went back to your subconscious. We went back to that moment.
So why when I've retold the story, it didn't have the same impact as I guess reliving the story.
Because I had you go back to it. I had you. That's why the eyes
Yeah.
closed, going back to it, taking you all the steps that I take to describe you to go back to that moment. We're going back in time, is what we're doing. It's a time machine. Your mind is a time machine. We
Yeah, that
actually
makes
went back
sense.
there.
I have to connect the feelings to the fact. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I tend to be very self-aware and I'm told that I'm very self-aware, but that doesn't fix the emotions attached to that.
Mm-hmm.
And today this was good. All right. I don't want to waste more of your time, or not waste, but I don't
You're
want
not
to take up more
wasting,
of your
darling.
time.
We're gonna meet tomorrow at 9.
I'm not.
Don't.
Oh, your
Sorry,
time is
my
9.
time. Yeah, I'm on
Okay.
Pacific. It's 12 your time. Do this for you. This is one thing you could do to prove to yourself that you are valuable,
Yeah, this is
right?
good.
Right? And
Yes. Yes.
you freaking are so valuable.
It's a weird concept to grasp.
I
Like I
want you
get
to
where you're coming from, but
you're gonna get if you decide to move forward and do, you are going to adore that little baby that is you, that turns into the little girl that's you, that turns into the woman that is you, just like you do
financially
your
speaking,
kids.
it's a gray area, but
Well, I have
I
financing
applied for this
options.
job. I applied for this job. I should hear back in a couple weeks, and I'm excited about that. So,
Yeah, and I have financing options. So, no worries, but at least just show up to see what it's about. Yeah?
yeah, I'll be there tomorrow for sure.
Okay. Have a wonderful day. Drink
You too.
tons of water. And if you have time to just like relax and breathe for like 5 minutes, do that too. Just to,
No, that's good.
power up
My
that
mom picked up the
nervous
kids from
system.
school today. She's picking
Yay.
so
Yay. Okay. Relax, enjoy, and I will see you tomorrow.
thank you.
Bye, darling.